Hey there. Um, yeah, don't really know where to start. Basically, today's video is sometimes you break. My mood has been really good for a while now. Even to the point where I was able to come off my antidepressants. My whole demeanour and mood completely did a 180 and I felt much better. Obviously, you have your off days and stuff, but generally I've been doing very well with my mood for a long time. Since about September or so. Which meant that I hadn't had any of what I'd call moments when you really break. You just completely break down, and all of the thoughts that depression and anxiety put in your head just flood in, and you can't control them, and you basically completely fall apart. I hadn't had one of those moments since about September. Until Sunday. Sunday just gone. I don't know what happened. Well, I think it's one of those situations where the straw broke the camel's back. And basically a bunch of my friends, they all got into Minecraft, and I've never played Minecraft in my life, and I was scared to start it because I get addicted easily to games and I don't leave them very easily. But as I'm sure everyone has been in this situation at some point in their life, when you listen to your friends having fun without you, it can get upsetting. I was doing okay though, and then just other things in my life, not friend related, kept hitting me. And we unfortunately lost my great auntie a couple of days ago, so obviously that's on my mind as well. Along with a million and one other things, you know how it goes. I think my mind had just had enough, and hearing your friends have fun without you it triggered every single spot of me. Like, I was often the one left out because I wasn't able to join in a lot of things as a child and as a teenager. And now as an adult, because of my anxiety, I am still the one left out because there's a lot of things I can't manage. So I ended up feeling left out, and I didn't want to feel this way, but I did, and I hated myself for feeling like that. It just kept building. And every time I would tell myself this is silly, I realised that that wasn't the only thing, and that was just what my mind was fixating on. It was like my mind knew it was going to break, and it just chose something. It could have been anything that day, I think, to be honest. It just so happened to be this. And so I broke. I went back into the group where they were all having fun and I could hear them, and I'd get very emotional, so I left. And I fell. In my mind, I imagine there being this wall. I'm not going to call it a brick wall because it doesn't feel quite as stable as that at times. But just I imagine this wall, and behind it is everything I have to keep out of my head to be able to live relatively, my normal. So all the nasty thoughts that anxiety gives you, all the horrible things that depression gives you, I have to keep them all behind that wall so that I can function. The wall fell apart. and everything came tumbling in. And within a matter of minutes, I was fully believing that everyone hated me. And when I mean everyone, I mean every single person I knew in my life. I was fully believing that I was worthless, and that I was only ever useful to be hurt, and that I was never going to be good enough for anything. I felt as if I didn't know what to do. Everything fell very heavily onto me, what you want to call it. I said into me because it felt like it was falling into my head. The wall had come down, had crashed down, and all the thoughts came tumbling in. I was annoying. I was a burden. I'd be forgotten easily. Everything just didn't feel worth it anymore. I was uncontrollably crying. I just could not stop crying. With my gaming friends, the server that we use to talk to each other, that we obviously have some mods so everything runs smoothly, and I am one of them. I wrote something in there because I didn't want to put it out to the rest of the chat at first. A really close friend of mine saw it, and very quickly though, sorry, a bit emotional, I went into another one of our places, which is specifically, it's called our serious chat. It's basically like anything mental health wise or anything like that, you know, the bad bits of life, if you like, the serious bits, they go in there. A crappy mental health day has managed to break the dam, so to speak, and now every little thing is massive, and I'm a emotional wreck. I can't stop crying, believing everything my head is telling me, that everyone hates me and I'm always going to be left. I'm never going to be enough. I'm always the one hurt. I hate that things so silly have set me off like this, but now I'm falling apart. I remember typing that. It was almost scary because I got to the point where I couldn't function. I was crying so hard, I couldn't get my hands to move to type. That is 2 sentences maybe? It was really difficult to type that, but I did type it. I then closed the tab because at this point I was really determined that if I checked it again, they would have removed me from the server and they were never going to speak to me again. They being a group of friends. In my head at the time, I thought everyone hated me. And I now know how silly that was, but at the same time, I also know how easy it would be for me to fall back into that in a minute. Luckily, the friend I mentioned, the person who saw what I said in the other chat, she was going to bed at the time, but she stopped. And she went into the voice call that was going on. And she rallied them and told them what was going on and what was going on with me. And she sent them in my direction. I can't... She knows exactly who she is. And I can never thank you enough for doing that. I really don't know how I would have gotten out of that situation in my head if you hadn't have done that. I needed to be shown at that time that there was people that cared for me, and you did that. You made sure I could remember that I was loved. I can never say thank you enough for that. So the people rallied, and I'm looking at the messages now. I can't. They reminded me that I was very much wanted and loved and cared for. That the things that my head was telling me was not true. It took me a while, but I did calm down. And eventually I went back into voice and I listened to them. It was still tough, but I knew it was okay. Obviously my mental health is not brilliant right now. The wall being broken has meant that my mental state right now is pretty shit. I have the crazy idea of trying to get out tomorrow, which is always a brilliant idea, isn't it? But I know I'll be okay, because I have my friends who will not let me fall apart like that again without being support. They're always going to support me. They're my family. They're the family that I never knew I had. And somehow we're a very dysfunctional family. We're very, very dysfunctional. But we are a family. I had another little breakdown yesterday. A mini one. It wasn't so bad. But after that second one, I was like, I was breaking down so much, I thought I had to try and bring myself out of that. So I bought Minecraft. And it is a lot of fun, and it's given me a lot of laughs, which is exactly what I need right now. My main problem with it was that I was worried I'd get attached, and it did. Which happens so often with me. But thankfully a friend of mine said, think of it of like a D&D game. And if the non-nerds out there, a D&D game stands for Dungeons and Dragons, which is a long story, but basically it's a long story. But D&D games or D&D campaigns go on for a week or two, or D&D campaigns, games that go on for a week or two. The campaigns go on for about a week or two, or however long they go on for. And then that'll be the end, and a few months later you'll do another one. And they told me that is how I should see Minecraft. So that is currently how I am seeing Minecraft, and it is helping. Thinking of something that is not permanent, in a couple of weeks' time, it'll be gone, and that'll be okay. That's it. Doesn't matter. We're having fun for now. I like that way of thinking of it. And for now, my mental health sucks, but I have the support network that I need to get back to normal. And a really big thing that's come out of this is that I know I can get back to normal. I'm not worried that I won't. I'll be okay. I'm really glad that I have gotten to that point where I feel like, yeah, I'll be okay. It's okay. I'll get there. I think, especially with mental health, a lot of people can't see the changes because obviously they're not physical. It's difficult for me to see them sometimes, but I can see it now. I have changed so much. I'm a different person. I'm someone who can cope. Not very well sometimes, admittedly, but I can cope now. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. But yeah, that has been my past 2 days. Breakdown over Minecraft. As I said, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. It could have been anything that day. It just happened to be Minecraft. Anyway, I will leave that there. So yeah, I hope you found this video interesting, and until next time, just believe. Bye!